Hey everybody, this is Joe with Carbon Marine. Today I want to talk to you about the fall tournament season, getting ready for tournament fishing. Now there's a couple of different flavors, so this particular rendition of my advice on preparing for tournament fishing is relative to fly fishing because that's where I've got the most experience fishing with some really, really good anglers that are a lot better than me. So I've learned a lot from observing them and working with them and them helping me. And it's kind of a team sport like a golf and a caddy. Um, Preparation is super, super, super important. What does that mean? Preparation can boil down to location preparation. Are you doing the surveillance and the research into where you're going to be fishing? Um, I haven't fished a lot of tournaments in my life, but I did fish the Herman Lucerne with Dave Preston years ago. This is all pre-pandemic stuff, and Dave and I would spend hours and hours and hours learning an area via maps or scouting and learning. And particularly with the Herman Lucerne, it was 7 different fish that we were supposed to catch in that tournament. It wasn't just one specific fish, which made it even harder. But the preparation of knowing where the area where you're going to be fishing and the cycles and the conditions in those areas and where the fish are, that's really, really important. But that's not all of the preparation, right? A lot of guys lose the tournaments not because they didn't know where the fish were or how to catch the fish that were there. They lost them because they didn't have other little details ironed out. For example, make sure the boat is in working order. Many guys end up with boat trouble. Tournament gets lost. If you can't get around, can't win. Secondly, your equipment list. Make sure you have what you need for the conditions in the area where you are. We were fishing in the Everglades. I don't know if you've ever fished in the Everglades, but if you have ever fished in the Everglades and launched at Flamingo, you know that when you pull up there in the mornings, the bugs are going to kill you. The mosquitoes are homicidal. They will eat your eyeballs. So we had bug suits. So we would launch, we'd run to the inside, we'd go to Coots Bay, the sun's not up yet, the bugs would eat you alive. We had thermocells, we had bug suits. What's that got to do with fishing? It's being comfortable because you got to fish through these periods, right? The first hour is when it's the worst. Sun comes up, the bugs go away, you're back to where you normally would be. But getting prepared for that, those types of interruptions or disruptions can be a big deal. Making sure your gear is in working order. We've had some real failures. Dave Preston was hooked up to a big snook one time. Matter of fact, I think it was the biggest snook that's ever been caught in the tournament. And he had a reel malfunction. Make sure your gear is in good shape. There was another gentleman in one of these tournaments years ago, same Herman Lucerne tournament, didn't have a net, had a big fish, was trying to get the fish. It's a photo net, it's a photo tournament, didn't have a net, didn't have a way to land the fish. And the fish got broke off, didn't get a picture, didn't get the tape to fish. So preparation, the little details, making sure you've got plenty of fuel, know your fuel limitations. Right? A lot of guys run out of fuel when they do these tournament runs. The next thing that I think was really, really critical to the success that Dave Preston and I had fishing this Herman Lucerne series was knowing each other's role. Dave's way better angler than I am. The guy is a magician with his fly rod. He can make casts that I can only dream of. My strength, my job was keeping the boat running. Like there's several times we had issues with the boat, be able to fix the boat, get the boat going, and poling the boat. Like my job was to pole. Keep the boat moving, keep the boat stopped, keep the boat turned, like manage the boat. Because if you can't manage the boat, your world-class superstar angler is going to get frustrated. Right? You've got to set him up for success. And I've seen so many teams go into these tournaments kind of, for lack of better terms, equals to each other, but there's a little bit of an ego conflict of, man, you've been on the bow for 4 hours and I need to be on next. And that was never, ever, ever in question in a tournament situation when I was fishing with Dave because I knew he was a better angler and I knew I could control the boat. So my job was controlling the boat, was making sure that everything got stowed when we needed to run, making sure that we only ate when we were moving, get the food out, get the drinks out, running the boat, eat while we're moving. All these little details set you up for success in whether or not you're going to win, because if you're not doing it and one other team is, they're going to have better results than you because it's that meticulous. It's that much. It's that important that you plan this stuff out. And the last thing is you cannot have altercations. You cannot have disagreements. You cannot argue. You both need to be like a symphony. You need to understand this is the sheet music. We're going to target this species at this time and this method, and we're going to check that off the list, and we're going to go down. You have a plan, and you execute to that plan, because the second you start feeling that you're off plan, or that he starts feeling you're off plan, and it starts getting adversarial, the energy changes, and it becomes a drag, and then it's not productive, and you're not at the top of your game. So understanding the plan, hey, we're going to get the snook first, then we're going to get the tarpon, in this case with the hermit and the sturgeon, then we're going to get the bone. Like, we had a checklist of where we needed to go and when we needed to get there and what we needed to do. And we executed to that, and we didn't have disagreements. We both knew the plan. We knew the plan could work if we both stuck to the plan. So understanding each person's role in that relationship is really important, and I think is the key to a lot of these long-time successful Gold Cup winners, Holly winners, Dale Brown winner. Like, you go match and talk to the guys that are the winning teams, they're connected. They see things eye to eye. They get along and they execute to the plan. And they know the little details. Check your leaders, check your lines, check your reels. Make sure the hooks are clean. Make sure you don't have any rusty hooks. Make sure the leaders don't have any chafing. Like, just if you hook a fish, pull that leader back in. Check it for chafing. Make sure there's no foul wind knots in it. These are all the little details that become systematic when you do this over and over with a dedicated partner. It's highly infrequent that a team pairs up and they win a tournament first go, or then the next year they get a different guy and they win. The next year they get a different guy and they win. The winners that perpetually win tournaments are teams that have melded together. They can finish sentences with each other. So if you're serious about fall tournament fishing, you have to get on that level. I mean, it's that intimate. You need to be on the same wavelength with each other and develop your checklist and go down those checklists and make sure that everything is covered before you get to the water. And that's my opinion on what it takes to win in these fall tournament series and tournament opportunities that we have coming up.